Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jim Pryor. I am the managing partner for Ardor Commercial Advisors. We are located in Charlotte, North Carolina, and operate both in North and South Carolina. We're right on the border at, I kid everybody all the time, in my neighborhood, it's half North Carolina, half South Carolina. I just pay a lot less in taxes because I'm on the South Carolina side. But I have a team of 7 people, including 6 brokers and 1 property manager. So our design of our company is we want to be everything for our team. So everybody in our team has a specialty. And I think that's key in commercial real estate. And most of you know that. I have a land person. I have multifamily people. I have landlord reps, tenant reps. I do investments, and then also medical. And then we have some large square foot user brokers as well too. But the one thing we try to teach with our team all the time is how to follow what I call the 3 Ps in commercial real estate. It's really the 3 Ps in any type of sales, and that's prospecting, presence, and pipeline. And how do you keep the pipeline full? How do you keep your presence and staying top of mind? And how do you keep your prospecting? Because prospecting is the one thing we do in our business that keeps us paid, keeps us happy, and keeps us helping customers. And the whole goal of today is to give you another tool in your toolbox. I'm not going to ask you to sign up for anything. I'm not going to ask you anything like that. That's not my goal. My goal is to actually give you something usable that you can take back and use. So the first thing I have to kind of start off before I start, if everybody will in the comments, if you're a commercial real estate agent, broker, advisor, put CRE. And then if you're a residential broker, just put R. And I just want to see, how many do we have of each? Because this can be valuable on both sides. Oh, we got some both on there. I call that resi-mercial. Primary residential. Okay. Okay. A lot of CRE people, so that's a good thing. I always talk to our team all the time about referrals. And, one of our team members that does this very well is actually on here. Andreas is on here. But referrals are a key to our business, whether it's from our customers, whether it's from residential real estate agents, whether it's from just people. And top of mind is a big thing. I know Joseph talks a lot about it, his coaching and training. About staying top of mind and how to go out and prospect and how to use all the different types of prospecting. And you could probably sit down, most of us could probably sit down and say, okay, these are like 30 or 40 things that we can do to earn more money, to prospect out to customers. But the one I'm going to focus on today is how to connect with residential brokers and teach them how they can make money and the value of that money. So all this started out, a lot of people were like, why should I refer this? Why should I do this? And I always start every one of my webinars that are teaching programs with this one particular story. Let's see if I can make the slide change. Actually, here we go. So this isn't his house, but this is in his neighborhood. So my buddy Dave called me up, and I've helped him buy commercial real estate. I've helped him sell commercial real estate, keep his commercial real estate leased. And Dave calls me up and he says, Jim, I want you to sell my house. It's about a $3.5 million house. And I said, Dave, I don't sell houses. And he says, well, I want you to do it. You do so well with our commercial. I want you to sell my house. I said, Dave, I don't sell houses. He says, well, you have a real estate license, right? And I was like, yes. And he goes, well, then I know you can sell it. I said, Dave, if you had a brain tumor, would you go to a dermatologist to get it fixed? And he goes, no. I said, okay, it's the same thing in our world. I said, we all specialize in different things, whether it's residential or commercial or the 5 types of commercial. And we're really good at what we do. I said, you like in investment properties. That's what I did. I said, if you called me up and said, hey, I want something in multifamily, I'm going to say, talk to Thomas or Jack. Or you want land, you talk to Carrie. So I said, we are specialists in what we do and what we focus on. And he says, okay, I get it. So we referred him out and somebody sold his $3.5 million house. So whenever, I talk to residential agents about, when they call me up and say, I have a referral, how do I make money off of this? Can I be part of it? I always show them kind of a value of what we do. And let's see if it'll make me switch again. I think I have to click and hit on it each time here. Let me back up. So the first thing I always like to tell them is when on these things is like, let me show you how to make money out of this. And, one of the things I loved about the Jerry Maguire movie is he really made him come out and show his value proposition and how he's going to work with him. And that's what we want to do for our customers. So I love that phrase, show me the money. And this is how I'll talk to them about how to make, lots more money in commercial referrals and the value of referring that rather than spending hours and hours and hours trying to figure out how I could possibly help a commercial client. So I use an example, average house price, 400,000, average commission in this market for residential is about 2.5, about $10,000. And then I ask a couple of brokers, how much time do they spend on these type transactions? And it varied between 10 to 20 and different hours for a different thing, but total about 120 hours. So I took the average and I said, okay, let's make this 90 hours. And if they earn $10,000, that's about $111 per hour. And my team will tell you, I'm all about, how much you spend an hour on each project. And I have a little Post-it note on my computer down here beside me. It says my value is, $597 an hour. So if it's not worth $597 an hour with me, I pass it off. So then I talked to them a little bit about commercial leasing, commercial sales, but let's use an example of a commercial lease that's worth 1.5 million. And the average commission, let's just say, is 3% on that. So between 45,000, somewhere in that range. Our referral percentage between 15 and 20% to the person that referred it over. And that's about $9,000. So if you take all the time that it takes just to get a referral and pass it off to a qualified commercial agent, that's about $4,500 an hour. So when you look at the two, is it worth, that's the reason how I teach the residential brokers, it's like, is it worth taking the time to figure out how to lease, sell, or find a property for a commercial customer? Or is it better to pass it off and, earn that $4,500 an hour? And that's where I get a lot of buy-in when I have these conversations with these teams. All right, let's click again. There we go. And then I go in and I talk a little bit about, the types of multifamily and, all the different types of multifamily and how we can help them. But then I also talk a little bit about, the value of working with our particular team. And that's our flow process. We call it the order flow process. So we have a process for sales. We have a process for buying and selling. We have a process for tenant and landlord. And it's step by step. The internal process includes everything from sending a thank you card. The external process, which we actually show our customers, we can actually hand them a sheet of paper or show them a presentation on how we go through and complete the transaction for them. And we walk our residential friends through this as well too, whether it's a webinar or an in-person meeting. We talk a little bit about how to generate commercial leads, and that's basically who you're talking to, the people that you're selling houses to, the restaurant you go to, your doctor, your CPA, your financial advisor. We're starting to get a lot of business off of financial advisors, calling them up and say, hey, do you have clients that have property? Or are they thinking about retiring? Are they thinking about selling, especially the baby boomers right now? What's their process so they can help manage their money and we can help them sell their property. So a couple different ways to do that. We talk to them a little bit about things to listen. Are they a decision maker? Are they a manager? Do they own a company? What's their role? Because when you're qualifying a person to buy or sell a house, you're going to ask them those things. You're going to ask them what they're going to do. And we use that information to coach our residential, friends into saying, hey, if you ever need something in commercial, I can help you out. And I'll talk a little bit about that at the end on how we how we present that information. Next, there we go. We talk a little bit more about finding, these things, what things to look for, business owners, investors. We give them this whole list of things to go through. Then we talk to them about when should you refer a commercial customer. And this is one of the slides that Andreas did, and he put, almost always. And I know there's some residential brokers that do a little bit of commercial, and there's some markets out there that people do both in. I'm in a larger market. Charlotte's a larger market. So, there's a good split between the two. But what a lot of people don't understand in the larger market is the cost of doing business with commercial. And the other commercial agents on here know that, between CoStar and Crexi and, paid LoopNet and the cost of signs and E&O insurance and everything that's out there. So we want to best represent our clients. And, Article 11 in the Code of Ethics as a realtor, talks about representing our clients the best in things that we understand and we know how to do. I know right now in our area, there's 2 lawsuits going on with brokers and agents or their clients because of they did not discover the right information. One of them is they didn't verify the zoning that they could put the business in there. And then the other one didn't verify that the land was actually usable. And they're being sued for negligence right now, and not just the commission, but actually being sued for it. So, I always say if you're going to go into residential or you're going to go into commercial, you've got to go more than just get your license. You really have to dig into and understand the business that you're going into. And it's kind of some of the broker in charge that I know of residential have us come and talk about this with their team because they don't want to be liable for their team making a mistake that's going to get them in trouble. We talk about the typical cost of being a commercial advisor in our market, so they understand, what our costs are. But he says, well, commercial agents make more. Well, not necessarily. I know residential agents that make more than I do. So, commercial agents, we spend a lot more money on each individual listing, but sometimes our listings are worth more. I mean, we may be doing a 90,000 square foot shopping center that's worth probably $1.5 million in commissions. So, but we have to put a lot more and invest more in there. In North and South Carolina, I know every state has different rules, but North Carolina and South Carolina, you must be an active licensee to get a referral fee. And, we pay different referrals for different, projects. If somebody brings me something that's like a whole shopping center or something like that, we'll do a constant referral so they keep getting paid throughout the entire process. But if it's an individual deal, sometimes we have cold leads, sometimes we have qualified leads, and we'll pay based on those. Sometimes we pay a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. So we don't have a standard. I don't think you can use that word, but we do pay our referrals, and that's one of my favorite things is handing people a check. I think the largest check I've given out in the last year and a half is about $30,000 for a referral. They were very happy with that check. So we use some examples and talk about, the referral fees that they can get. Like there's like a medical office, a neighborhood retail store, investments, large warehouse. So there's a number of different ways that we can show them how they can make more money out of this. We talk a little bit about our referral process and how it goes through, kind of with our flow process. And then we really talk to them a lot about what I call the reverse referral. So if you give us a referral and we end up putting in a large industrial warehouse, that industrial warehouse is going to mean jobs. We refer back anybody that's going to be working for that company and moving here from that company and the job fairs they do to the agent that gave us the referrals. So they can not only earn more commissions other than the referral, but earn more commissions from actually helping people find houses and housing in that area. So one of the things we do offer at the end of our webinar for our agents is we offer them a tracker, which is a list, basically is just your sphere of influence. Write down everybody you've done business with, and then write down what they do so you can set up a call list to call them. And then we have a little letter or that we send them, as well as some texting information. So one of the example of it is, hey, I've just partnered with a great commercial agency, real estate agency here in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you or any of your family or friends need anything commercial real estate, give me a call. I'm glad to connect you. And little emails, text similar to that, and you can build those in Chat AI. Make your own list that works for you, and give those to your residential friends and partners to go out and contact their SOI, use that SOI, and bring in leads. Every time we've done one of these webinars, we've gotten between 1 and 4 and 5 leads that have ended up in transactions. So I always say each time I do one, we earn at least 1 commission minimum. Usually it's more than that. But in anything that we do in coaching our brokers, and anything we do in going after leads or prospecting like this for referrals, you can't just do it once. You have to do things over and over again. It's like sending letters. There's a giant box of sitting on the couch in my office right now across from me that is designed that we're going to target 2 specific areas and 2 specific building owners in our area, because we were just able to sell and lease some significant properties. And we're going to send them letters, but we don't just send them the letters one time. We send them the letters on a regular basis. We give them something of value. Our letters are pretty simple. It talks about, about their building, mentions them, the 3 things that we can solve for them. And then some type of, lead that I'm going to call them next week. I don't say I'm going to call them on Tuesday, but I say I'm going to call them next week. And then I put them into my call list and I make those calls. But you have to do that consistently over and over and over again. Just like this with our residential real estate agents, you have to do this over and over again. You have to go to the Allen Tates and the Caldwell Bankers and all these different offices and talk to them and put online classes, because you can't just do anything once with sales. You have to do it to stay top of mind. But that's doing this. One of the things I did notice very quickly is that whenever somebody asks for a commercial real estate broker on Facebook in our market, whether it's a real estate page or a business page, our team is consistently brought up on every one of those posts. And we get deals out of that. And it all goes back to that, what I said at the very beginning, that top of mind, and why people remember you and why people come to you. And if you are someone that connects with them and gives them something of value on a regular basis, you will get those calls and you will drive more business. And then at the end, of course, I put, the information. We have a referral email as well as my email, and go from there. And everybody that's on the list becomes on my mailing list as well too. So everybody that signs up for a webinar, everybody that signs in one of our classes, they all get that information that I mentioned on that previous screen with the talking points, the ebook that I wrote. And if you guys don't use an AI tool, I encourage you to use it. I encourage you to spend the $20 a month, skip a couple of lattes, and spend that money on AI if you don't use it. It is a phenomenal tool. It's all about putting in the right prompts to get the right information. But the pay version of it, you can actually go in and build your own GPTs. I have 8 built just on commercial real estate. I have one built to write LOIs for leases, another built to write LOIs for purchasing. I have some that I have come in and spent 6-7 pages about me and my company and put that in there. So it writes everything based on my company. And that could be a whole nother class. But yeah, AI is definitely part of our business. If you're not in it, get in it. Everything you saw today, my ebook, all my talking points, even the slides in some cases, were all done through AI. And I use it every single day. I even have it on my phone. That's how I use for text and emails too. So it really, really works. But the whole goal of today was to give you something that you can go out and use and drive a little bit more business. I try to do these webinars about every quarter. I'm actually working on right now doing it as an evergreen, so I can just make it come up and just play, so we can send this out to different teams. I've just got to shorten my presentation a little bit, and get somebody to record it that has a little bit more technical skills than I have.
That's awesome, Jim. So for everybody who is a CRE broker here, you should just take what you saw today and create your own charts and do this presentation for your residential partners or in your office. Just look for opportunities. I just did this, and Jim, I have to admit that your last presentation that you did for in your company. I
Mm-hmm.
got hold of a copy of that, and hey, he had some really good templates about how to connect with hey, what the residential agent should say to their clients about, hey, I just partnered with a commercial agent. I thought about you. So I use that, right? So in my presentations, and last time I did it, I've actually turned this into a CE class. So that is a great opportunity because a lot more people want to come just for that 1 hour CE credit. So I just delivered this class in our office in Dallas for about 30 agents last week. And Jim, part of that presentation was some of the things that I learned from you about how to tell them, so we're not only showing them that there is an opportunity for them to bring you business, but also really telling them how to execute that, right? So here's your sphere of influence, here's a tracker, here's a short text you can send them, here's an email draft that you can send them, and then wait for them to respond to you, right? And if you do that consistently, it's great for them because they're adding another revenue stream to their business without having to do a lot of work. It's great for us as commercial agents because those referrals keep coming, right? And like Jim said, always you have to be on top of mind. So you have to stay on top of mind, and then keep doing it repeatedly, right? If you don't get any referrals the first time, you'll get it the second or third time, but you have to keep doing it every month, every quarter to the same people.
Yeah, one
So
of the things you can also do is you can actually send out things to the residential agents. So I put out stuff all the time. Like there's one that's going out today about a giant interchange that's going in one of the most congested areas, high value areas in our area. If you send these agents this information, you send the agents that, like we're getting ready to do a brand new shopping center. It's about 90,000 plus square feet. I send these agents this ahead of time, with the presentation, with some pictures, and they're able to share that with their customers. So they give their customers something of value. And of course, I stay top of mind, which is my goal.
that's awesome stuff. Jim, we definitely have to bring you back to teach us about AI. I think we all do some do some
I,
lessons on that.
I
I'm
would say
just,
I've learned so much, but I know about this much of all of this, but
well,
I learn something every week on it, which is good.
yeah, no, I think, I could use some help in having AI write my LOIs. It just seems like you're spending a lot of time writing LOIs.
Oh, that part's great. I can write an LOI in about 3 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Uh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right.
Awesome. Right. Do we have any other questions for Jim while we have him here? He provided his slide that he provides to other residential agents. So it was kind of a, we kind of got that presentation of what you could say and do and provide. So I want to give an opportunity for anyone who has any questions. I was going to ask one, kind of what is your strategy to connect with, like you just Google brokerages in your area and try to, I guess you wouldn't get appointments because you do webinars. So kind of what is your key focus to get an audience to do a webinar?
So there's a couple different ways. One, you can always contact your local MLS or board of realtors. If you have a residential person, you can actually download that list. So that's one way to get a list of the agents. The other is you can stalk them on Facebook, as I like to call them, because they all like to post stuff on Facebook constantly, get the names. I look for people that are on there all the time. I look for people that are posting homes all the time and talking about their sales all the time. And I look at the value of those sales. So, one of my partners, because you can buy the list just like you can buy a realtor list. You can go into, or somebody with MLS, you can find access and you can actually go in and you can say, I want people between this price point and this price point in homes, or have sold between this much and this much in the last year. And you can download that list and use that as a contact point. So anybody with MLS access, and I know in our market, can go in and get that list, and that's how we do it. For the individual offices, everybody knows there's real estate offices all around us. Just go in and ask to speak to the broker in charge, or whoever an operating partner is. Bring cookies; they love cookies. And just say, hey, I'd love to come talk to your team, or get a list from your team, and I'll hold a webinar for your team. So that's a different way of doing it as well. And then once you decide to do one, post the heck out of it. You want to start posting about a week or two out. We did some ones that weren't long enough. And then we've done some stuff that's too long out. So you want to start posting, about a week or two out on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on everywhere you're connected with real estate agents. And by the way, make sure you are connected with every different residential real estate page in your area on Facebook, Nextdoor, those type things, because those are just great information to see who's chatting, to get list of names, to just start interacting. But when you start posting stuff that you're going to hold a free class, it's not going to cost them anything, and they're able to make money out of it, you get your attendance that way.
Awesome. Thank you. And I know the answer, but I'll let you answer it. What AI program do you use? She said that charges $20 a month, but yeah, once you upgrade, that's what it is. Yeah, ChatGPT. So it's the free one. ChatGPT is free. But when you actually pay for it, like he said, that is when it really unlocks a lot of specific tools. And so, yeah, thank you, Nisha. She just put it down there. So ChatGPT, everyone should have an account with ChatGPT. But like he said, to actually optimize AI, it's a paid program.
Yeah, and you can build it for so many different things. Plus, there's thousands, or not more than that, but of different things. So if you want to search something on just commercial real estate or self-storage or whatever, there's chats in there about each one of those. You can build off of those. You can use those. And it's just a wealth of information. Property management, there's a ton of stuff on property management in there as well.
Yeah. And I know we always have questions on that. So we'll definitely have a class on AI, because I believe most of us use it. I know Joseph uses it, Jim uses it, I use it. So we'll definitely figure that out, because it's like Jim said, it's necessary. Like, you definitely need it. We spend too much time focusing on so many of the tiny little details and forms and everything that you really just don't need to anymore. So I'll just wait and see if any other questions come in, but I wanted to just kind of wrap it up. So Jim has specifically targeted something that is optimizing his business, but it's not who he's contacting necessarily. I just wanted to highlight his system. He has a very strong system that he's getting in front of people, and not only is he prospecting, but he's following up. So he has the implementation full circle, and it's continually. So I really want to kind of highlight that. So no matter who you're working with, that is key. So just anyone you're focusing on, that is how you're actually going to close and get those deals. Another part was that he's really found an opportunity of capturing the hard work of other people in the industry as well, to kind of pull from those missed opportunities, or to provide additional education to include him in opportunities. Residential agents can do commercial, they shouldn't. And it's not bad, good, or ugly. It's just educating why it's most beneficial to stay in your lane and work with each other. Because both of you guys can increase so drastically when you're able to really, really, really get into your business. Like Jim said, commercial is complex. You have to know the ins and outs of it. Don't just get your license. There's so much more to it. And so you just don't have time to go that deep in researching in residential and commercial. You really it's most beneficial for you to find that one piece and then work with someone, collaborate with someone who's in the other. So I absolutely love that. I also wanted to point out, he also talked about financial advisors. So as commercial real estate agents, we get to not just try to find the deal, you want to find the source. So he provided another little nugget there where you could reach out to financial advisors and really think out of the box of who's actually seeing people frequently who have commercial properties and businesses. And those are who you want to be networking with and connecting with and creating your, your circle of system to be able to prospect, connect, follow up, and all that kind of stuff. So if you don't want to work with residential agents, he provided another fantastic opportunity to kind of just start thinking of that. And again, you can go on AI and say, hey, I do commercial real estate. Who should I be talking to? Just kind of getting that, stepping outside the box and really kind of stretching yourself a little bit to find those opportunities.
Well, I think, Valerie, I can add one more thing. So one of the things that, when we talk to people that are trying to get a footing in the CRE industry, is the challenge is, I don't know anybody here. I just moved here, right? I know. So Chris is a good example, right? He's moving from California to Knoxville, Tennessee, right? So you may, I don't know what connections you have there, but this is one of the paths that you can choose, right? It's easy to get in touch with the residential agents in the area to establish a referral stream, right? So that will help you get going until you establish your network and connections and everything in that area, right? So, and if you guys, I think I always talk about, I'm really big on implementation. It's not about learning, right? I mean, we all need, we don't know what we don't know, right? So now this is a good source of revenue for your business. Now, the next thing is, how are you going to implement it, right? So, and if you need help with implementation, just shoot me an email. I will create an SOP or something that we can help you with, how to implement it, right? And I've done it many times, and I'm really great to see Jim doing it consistently. And there are a lot of other people who are doing it. It's just another stream of income, right? You're not going to be dependent on it completely, but it's just, you want consistent income. These are some of the things that you should consider doing. So if anybody needs help, just shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the chat as well. I'd be happy to write a standard operating procedure, step by step, how to implement this, and then you can just take it and run with it.
Chris also said business attorneys. Yeah, so it's just fantastic to, once you start brainstorming and writing things down, it's amazing how things just start spilling out, and you can start targeting those individuals who provide multiple resources, like residential agents. They provide multiple resources instead of just trying to find that one commercial owner. That's a lot more work to keep, trying to find that one deal and then trying to find that next deal. You want to find the source of the deals. That's a fantastic way. So, Nisha.
And Valerie, before we go to the networking, I want to, we always appreciate, our speakers. And Jim, thank you so much for coming and enlightening us with your wisdom. And, in return, I ask everybody, if you are looking to connect somebody in the South Carolina, North Carolina, Charlotte area, always think about Jim, right? I know Jim is on top of my mind if I'm looking to refer somebody to that area, and I know he'll take care of those clients, the best that I know of. So this is how we establish connections, right? So always keep in mind that, hey, if somebody wants something in Charlotte, reach out to Jim and his team. And we have members of his team here as well. Andreas is here, I saw. And so reach out to Jim and Andreas and folks in Charlotte if you have any referral opportunity.